I am a man born and raised in Texas, and I can say with all sincerity, I do not look like this when I wear a vest, and I have certainly never achieved this aesthetic while washing a horse. The most likely and believable explanation being that I have never washed a horse. That's gotta be the only explanation. And why is Trey here spraying himself down like this, you might ask? Well, because the horse soap splashed onto him, obviously. Spraying yourself down sexily is a critical, non-negotiable part of the horse washing process. Anyone who says differently is a hater and ignorant of the intricacies of horse care.
Sorry, I get hot when I'm ovulating.
So prepare yourself to swoon as you watch the cowboy Trey with unusual focus and alertness in The Wrong Paris, a rom-com dedicated to making your boyfriend feel jealous and inadequate as you bathe in the endorphins created by a fantastical Cinderella story based in glorious Texas. Yeehaw! Dawn lives in a small town with her grandmother and two younger sisters. She is a model of empowerment and femininity. Heck. She's both tough and beautiful. That's the thing. How do we know? She welds. She welds a lot. And when she's not creating metal art, she is working in a diner.
I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and never let you forget your romance.
Her goal in life? Dawn dreams of ditching the small-town Texas atmosphere to discover her art destiny. Where does she want to go? Paris, France, because there's an art school over there that's really expensive, and therefore, we're meant to assume better. Seems like an outdated notion right out of an Audrey Hepburn 1950s movie, but hey, let's roll with it. Dawn's problem is, Granny Birdie had some health issues last year, so a lot of Dawn's college fund is gone. But a dating show is taking applications for women from Texas, and the audition is in Dallas. Just by participating, the women in the show get a substantial participation fee.
This is not a beauty pageant. This is a scholarship program.
And no, this show is not The Bachelor. We're not calling it The Bachelor. And it in no way represents the show known as The Bachelor. It just happens to follow the exact same format in every way. Now, let's get back to this movie plot about a bachelor and the large group of women who are trying to marry him for his looks and his money. Back to Dawn. She figures this show, called The Honey Pot, is an opportunity she can't refuse. Even with just the participation fee, Dawn can get enough cash to travel to Paris and begin her art studies. Dawn figures she'll just play along as a contestant on the show, and she will intentionally do a bad job of it so that the guy is forced to kick her out early. Then she runs into a big snag. It turns out that she met Trey, the bachelor, recently at a bar, where they felt a connection. They were interrupted though, so they never exchanged numbers. Trey isn't about to let Dawn off the show quite so easily. Dawn fights the situation for a while, because she really wants to go to France for her studies and see more of the world, but little by little, she falls for Trey. Was it little by little? This scene makes it seem like she figured it out all at once.
Morning, Dawn. It's gonna be a hot one.
Morning.
What a smoothie. He's definitely a smoothie.
Anyway, the two fall in love both on camera and off. Then, Trey is made aware of Dawn's plan to study in Paris for 2 years and realizes that he might be getting taken for a fool, being used by Dawn only as a way of making money. Of course, this information is given to him by Dawn's main competition on the show, Lexi, a social media giant who is angry about Dawn and Trey's obvious chemistry.
Call Nene and Laquan and tell them to bring the Vaseline and the straight razors. No!
I will fight you.
So in a painful moment of shock and surprise, Trey decides to not choose Dawn to move on to the next stage of the show's journey. Why is this extra sad? Because Dawn was just getting to the point of accepting the idea of complicating her life plan by having a relationship. And there was the risk that it would keep her in Texas, which was all she'd ever known.
I want much more than this provincial life.
And she really wanted to see more of the world. Don't know why though. Texas is freaking awesome. And it's bigger than most countries out there anyway. Everything bigger and better in Texas, people. Heartbroken, Dawn takes her participation fee from the show and hops a jet to Paris to begin her art education. The show progresses as well, but there's a twist. Trey will make his final decision about who to propose to in, you guessed it, Paris. France this time. Now, Dawn and Trey are in the same city at the same time. Rachel, one of the show's producers, tells Dawn this fact. She seems like a sweet person for doing this, but I can't quite shake the feeling that she knew it would be good for the drama of the show as well, so it might not exactly be a selfless act.
Shut the hell up, Carl, and please, let me win us an Emmy.
And then, what? Trey rejects Dawn again because he suspects that now she is not only after the appearance fee, but wants the top prize money as well. Because at the end of the Honey Pot show, the lucky lady gets to choose the money or the honey. Oh gosh, I know I'm a voiceover guy, but I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. So Trey rejects Dawn, this time because he can't be sure this isn't just another scheme of hers. Dawn leaves the building in tears. Then Rachel, with the lovely white hairdo, tells Trey that Dawn gave up all her previous winnings just for the chance to tell him the truth and reunite with him. He realizes he has just made a big mistake and rushes out onto the street looking for Dawn. He finds her nearby and he forgives her for her earlier deception. He offers to pay for her art school just so she can stay in Paris legitimately and study. She refuses to take his money. So Trey tells Dawn that there's another option. The show can't force them to stay apart once the show is over, so she should take the money now, which she does.
And I'm gonna take the money.
They kiss in front of a marvelous and convenient view of the Eiffel Tower, not to mention in front of all the Honey Pot people, and they live happily ever after. Eventually. Probably. We sure hope so, after all this vicarious emotional investment we now have in their happiness. The end. Plot holes.
Olé!
I'm gonna start with the big one. Maybe some of you thought of this one too. This is a contestant show, and the rules state that the last lady standing gets to choose either the money or the man. Trey and Dawn make a plan to cheat the system and have her choose the money so that she can have both the money and the man. And I hate to point this out. Nah, that's a lie. I'm enjoying this a lot. But that's pretty much conspiracy to commit fraud. I don't think it would play out too well for them after that. They made the mistake of hashing this plan out in front of a large group of people, many of whom have shotgun and boom mics, recording their every word. Remember how Rachel explained this to Dawn earlier on?
First things first, please do not share that information with anybody else. And secondly, Carl, that's more than lying. It could be fraud. And if it is, you can kiss your little appearance fee a goodbye. The network could even sue you. What were you thinking?
If Trey and Dawn's plan were okay, don't you think all the previous contestants on the show would have done the exact same thing? So, while it was a fun ending, in the real world, the plan probably would have backfired and left Dawn with no money and Trey with a bit less money. Not quite as romantic, but that's what I do. I spoiled it. Working in a diner somehow allowed Dawn to save up for $30K per year tuition and living expenses even before Birdie's medical expenses wiped out her savings?
Right.
Seems unlikely, unless she was making $100 an hour at that diner. Huh, maybe I should work there. The idea that Dawn is going to put her relationship with a hot millionaire on hold until she's done studying abroad?
Oh, I don't even know what to yell at you.
Marry him first, then take him to live in Paris while you study, you ding-dong. Long-distance relationships have a bad reputation for a reason. This small-town girl is so tough, she even welds metal sculptures. I mean, I'm not against it. I actually like the idea of a lady who can be feminine and is willing to take on tough outdoorsy projects. So, if you can find one for me in the real world, I might just marry her.
You really are my kind of a woman.
Oh, silly boy, I'm everyone's kind of woman.
I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and never let you forget you're a man.
Birdie getting mad at Dawn for paying her medical bills, as if the right thing to do would have been to just let her stay ill and wounded or something. It would have condemned Dawn to feeling selfish and guilty, knowing she could have helped her grandma, but didn't. It's nonsensical for her grandma to expect her to make any other decision.
Most illogical.
Lucky this guy was a wimp. He got tossed out the door by a short girl with skinny arms. And that squeal was more than a little over the top. Also looked like she put her boot on him as gently as she could. All in all, not the most convincing tough girl act I've ever seen.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Gosh dang, if this is what you can get for cattle ranching, I might just be in the wrong business. Also, I've been to Paris, Texas. The scene at the airport is more accurate in representing Paris than Trey's ranch. If anybody knows where to find this little nook of paradise in Paris, Texas, let me know, because I'd like to verify if anything that looks remotely like it is located there.
A faker! A phony! An utter fraud!
Strong, independent women still get overly excited by free clothing. I mean, you can't exactly blame them though. Who doesn't like free stuff?
Works every time.
Not sure this is typical clothing for a rancher. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It seems more like what a writer of romance novels fantasizes a cowboy dressing like while working. Also, notice how he's hauling a couple bales of hay or alfalfa. I've done that kind of work before, and trust me, when working with that scratchy stuff, you do not want to be exposing that much skin.
Then I got itches coming. Ah, no, they're here. In all the worst places.
Please tell me women don't behave this way. Eat food, girl. We all gotta eat. Why waste time pretending? It's weirder to pretend you don't eat anything.
Everyone poops, beauty.
Is it true that nobody eats on reality shows? I guess I just haven't watched enough of them to know. They must be chowing down in their bedrooms or bathrooms then, the only places with privacy. And on a reality show, maybe the only safe place with no cameras is the bathroom.
Ew, David.
Ugh. Despite Rachel telling her that she has to play along or risk losing everything, Dawn doesn't try to play along at all. I just don't like the giving the chosen girls a golden spur thing. There's nothing romantic about a spur, even if it's gold. It just feels like they're trying a little too hard to be Texan, and something about it makes me cringe instinctively. I don't know why, I just don't love it.
I'm gonna write a letter.
Trey and Dawn thinking they could sneak away without a mansion full of people noticing.
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
Pretty sure Dawn could have studied this kind of stuff in the US for much cheaper. Nods of approval.
Did you forget that I'm your boss?
Did you forget to tell the network that I was the one that came up with the Paris twist?
No, I'll tell him.
When?
Dawn getting pushed into the slow walk shot of the group and trying to look like she belongs.
I haven't seen a walk like that since Jurassic Park.
Wait, is there a Texas in France?
Can you please move along? You're causing a blockage.
What the hell happened to your accent? The one with baby fever.
Sorry, I get hot when I'm ovulating. It's happening now. I know Trey and I just met.
Oh, Eve, that was the one that she keeps like
Sneaking up on me.
I want your baby. I want your baby.
But I know he's my soulmate.
And now, prepare to meet your bachelor. What the frick was that?
Hilarious way to show how everything on TV is hyped up and fake.
No, I don't feel stocked. I'm good.
I'll stalk you.
Hey, you're right there, aren't you? Yeah. You see that over there? Donna wants a Frenchman.
We already went over this part in the intro. There's no need to watch it again. If you do, you'd just be falling into the thirst trap set up by the movie producers. All they care about is keeping your eyes on the screen. So, don't fall for it. You can just stop watching and walk away. Still here? Well, don't say I didn't try to warn you. Also, did this camera guy say he's good because he got a good angle of Trey, or because this was a honeypot trap to catch Dawn? Not entirely clear. Also, notice that a cameraman can't get all those angles by standing in one spot. Maybe that should have been part of the plot holes.
Rachel, you're standing in horse
Oh well, just because you're a small-town Texas girl doesn't mean you automatically know how to lasso. Dawn did school, she works in a diner, and she welds metal sculptures and draws sketches. It was never mentioned that she'd done anything with rodeo or cattle. Still, if you don't think about it too hard, it was a cute moment. This fall was pretty fake, but come on, we all enjoyed Dawn crashing the one-on-one jacuzzi date and then running away. Heather hitting herself with a hatchet. I just realized that Trey's left eye is always slightly more closed than the right. Finally, a flaw. He had to have one at least, dang it. Now that you see it, you can't unsee it. Girls attacking each other in the mud, and Jasmine just passes by saying, "Get her, Dawn!" Cindy emotionally getting kicked off the show, and Carl, despite his sympathy tears, saying,
She's a Fruit Loop.
Birdie coming into the barn, ready with her shotgun. It's really fortunate for us that the couple ends up reconciling in front of a great view of the Eiffel Tower. Plagiarific. Cinderella getting splashed and crying like Cheryl from Miss Congeniality. Moral of the story. You can have your cake and eat it too. Life isn't about making tough choices or sacrifice if you can somehow manage to have it all. Dawn got to have her study abroad and somehow got a really hot guy with lots of money that's willing to just wait around a few years for her while she does what she wants to do. It's totally realistic, ladies, so surely you can find a perfect man like this too. Don't think about all that negative talk you've heard about long-distance relationships. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, am I right? I'm sure he won't run into any hot babes back in the States that are interested in his good looks and money. Plus, men love going long stretches of time without intimacy. It'll be fine. He's fine. He'll wait for you for 2 years, with only the occasional visit, because transatlantic flights are always inexpensive, and 9 to 10 hours on a plane is great fun. And he definitely won't get jealous when he sees pictures of you with other students, some of them male.
To a hot French man.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Cheers.
And Frenchmen certainly aren't known for being overly amorous.
Donna wants a Frenchman.
I hear they're great kissers.
And a woman with lots of money and a pretty face obviously would not appeal to Parisian guys. You know what? Actually, the more you think about this story, the more it makes sense. I took your favorite movie and I spoiled it. You're welcome.